I had a dream about being a slave. It is July 8th, 2020. July 8th, Wednesday, 2020. About 2 o'clock in the morning. I was a slave, and it was a rustic kind of slave. Like I was a slave back in the old days, but I was white. And I got up to do something, and somebody stopped in the middle of the night, and somebody stopped me and said something, if you do that, this will happen to you. Like maybe I got up to get some food. I don't think it was food. I don't think I was allowed to have food. And then I got up in the middle of the night maybe I got up in the middle of the night to drink some water, and I was told I'd get into trouble for that. And then I got up in the middle of the night to pee, and I was told I'd get in trouble for that. Like dire consequences for getting up to pee and getting up for water. And just as I was about to get into trouble for getting up to pee, my slave master got up and was to go. And I thought I would be free. I thought he was getting rid of me or something. There was a place we were in the woods, and there was a place in the woods I was planning on camping if he decided to leave. I guess what was happening, he was taking me somewhere, and he decided to leave that area, and I think he decided to leave me. So instead of being in trouble, I was almost free. And it's related to my waking life, because I consider myself a slave. Because I'm on disability and I'm on various assistance. If there's a meeting somewhere for me to get money, or for me to get some type of assistance, if there's a required meeting, I have to go there. If I don't go there, I get into trouble, because then I don't get the assistance. Because I have my health insurance, I have to go to a meeting for that. And same meeting for my food stamps, for my food assistance, which is not that big of a deal because I don't get much food assistance. But besides that, I have to talk to a social worker because I'm supposed to be crazy. They don't like to use the term crazy, but that's what they're calling me. And I have to go to all these appointments and all this stuff, or I get into trouble. I could lose my apartment very easily. I'd rather be working. It was easier when I was working 46 hours a week. I was working 46 hours a week on the other side of town, and it was easier. I remember back in the day when I was working 40 hours a week, and I enjoyed it and preferred it to the life that I have now. But once you get into a mental institution, it's the same type of thing. They'll say, do this, don't do that. And if you don't do what you're told, they'll call you non-directable. And they'll put you back into a mental hospital. Where they beat you up. I've been beaten up several times. I've been beaten up at my psychiatric institution. I've been beaten up in the mental hospital. Several times beaten up in the mental hospital. You know, they got cameras everywhere. Nobody does anything. I believed I was raped in the mental hospital several times. You know, I'm supposed to be mentally ill or crazy. So people would say, oh no, you're delusional. You know, that's the excuse they use for everything. But you get to a mental institution, you know, you say, you do this, you do that, you do the other. You know, do it now, and this is our schedule for this. And you have to follow a schedule or you get into trouble. If you go to a mental institution that lets you outside, if you don't make your bed in the morning or something like that, you don't get to go outside. If you don't take a shower when they tell you to take a shower, you have to show them your wet hair. If you show you have dry hair, you go over and say, I took a shower. They'll say, well, you can't go outside because your hair isn't wet. There was one guy in the mental institution, I hugged him, and he hugged me. And so he said, don't do that. You're not allowed to touch each other. It's really like slavery. Somebody called it the new slavery. And it's supposed to be for the rest of my life. And the government takes away the Fourth Amendment right. The Fourth Amendment right is for you to be free in your persons and possessions. And they take the possessions. If you have an apartment, they take your possessions. And they say, well, we'll store it or something, or they just throw it out. And they say you have to be where you have to be at a certain, you have to be where you have to be if you lose the case in front of the judge. And I've lost enough cases. I'm committed on a mental commitment. And I've been assaulted by staff because I didn't do what they told me to do at the right time. I didn't do what they told me to do when they told me to do it, and I got assaulted by staff. When I reported it, I got into trouble for reporting the fact that I was assaulted by staff. Somebody told me, hey, you're in trouble. They didn't say it directly, but he said, hey, you're in trouble for reporting staff for assaulting you. And I was beaten. I reported being beaten, and they wouldn't. And they wouldn't do anything. I said, let me call 911. They said, no, you can't call 911. The dream was like real life. Okay.